Good afternoon, fourth graders. This is my favorite unit in Nebraska Studies. It is Chapter 6 titled Go West, and it's all about the Oregon Trail. We're going to do some writing with it, and so we'll incorporate English with it as well. If you can, get out your books, and it'd probably be helpful to follow along with me. You're going to be doing a Google slide document where you have to fill in some questions. So you will have to have your book, okay? So use your book, your primary resource to answer these questions, okay? First of all, the Oregon Trail took place because people wanted land, they wanted adventure, and some wanted gold. Your question is there's a question that asks you where it starts and where it finishes, and then some checking points along the way. Check this map to help you out. People that went west were pioneers, okay? A pioneer is also someone that's just adventurous and tries something new. Why did they go? Okay? So why did they go? The main reason was land. What was the main reason? Oh, yes, Carly, the main reason was land. At the end of the Oregon Trail, there was a great deal of land. They could claim a piece of land, farm it, and own it for a small fee. Some went for adventure, and some later on went for gold, okay? They traveled in wagons. What did they travel in? Wagons. The first wagons were way too big. I believe they were called Conestoga wagons, and those they couldn't handle for very long. So they changed to these much smaller wagons called prairie schooner. A schooner is a ship, and they said that when these wagon trains went across the land, their canvases on the top here looked like ships sailing. On page 127, they will tell you how many miles a day they went. They went about 12 miles in one whole day. Who can tell me about how far that is? Yeah, Lizzie, that's about from here to Norfolk. And that's how far they would go in a day. So the whole journey often took them 6 to 9 months. Okay? What are you going to pack on your trip? Well, this page, which is page 128, tells you a lot of the items you would pack. Okay? I would definitely not forget to pack my coffee, but it's probably more important that I pack flour versus coffee because that's something my family would need for survival. Okay? They also had to make sure that they didn't make their wagons too heavy, which is why often, if you were a child, you would walk along the side. You might pick up sticks along the way for firewood. You might pick up buffalo chips. But you often would not be riding in the wagon because that would add extra weight. Page 128 talks about what animals they used to haul the wagons. They used oxen. One ox, more than one ox becomes oxen. They were the cheapest to buy. They also were not picky eaters, and horses were expensive. Page 129 talks about dangers along the trail. Okay? Now, I am teaching this section, but I also want you to make sure and read these pages. Also, if you have a question on your sheet, use your book. Look it up. Some of the dangers along the trail. Braden, I haven't heard from you in a while. You're right. It was not an easy adventure. Okay, some of the dangers might have been the weather. Okay, crossing rivers was an extreme challenge. Why? Oh, I lose track. Taylor, why? You're right, because there were no bridges, and so they had to find a shallow place to cross. Sometimes the wagons would tip over. They had to stop and build little wooden rafts to take them across the river like a ferry. And sometimes the wagon would tip over and the animals would drown. On page 129, you'll see a direct quote about crossing a river. If somebody said it or you found it in a journal, what is that called? A primary resource or a secondary resource? Yes, Olivia, you're right. If they say it, it's a primary resource. So make sure you read the pages. If you haven't done the assignment before where you get to watch the video on the Oregon Trail, I need you to do that too. And you'll do your Google Sheet assignment, and then we'll also be writing about the Oregon Trail. So I wish I was here in person, but we're doing the best with what we can. And go enjoy the beautiful weather while it's here, which is whenever the weather's beautiful, get outside because your brain needs a break from all that screen time too. Miss you guys.